Sorry about that. The phone got I guess apparently got overheated, so it messes up my live. But for those who are just coming in, I'm saying let's try this again. The heart-to-heart talk today. How y'all doing? God bless you, each and every one of you. The heart-to-heart talk today is access denied. Boy, people gonna be mad. People gonna be upset. Like the saying goes, make the flesh mad, and the flesh is mad, and the spirit will rejoice. It's gonna help you in the long run. I own that music. That's somebody blasting their music from their car. So, what I'm talking about, access denied. The scripture that I read from today is Romans chapter 5, verse 2. Romans chapter 5, verse 2. So, what I'm saying is, why, when people mistreating us, taking us for granted, why do we continue to give people access? We say, we don't want you, I don't want to deal with you, yada, yada, yada. But yet still, we still continue to give them access to us. A prime example, and y'all can get mad or get upset. A prime example, okay, relationship, marriage, it didn't work out, but you got kids out of it. You got kids out of it. All right, bam, boom. So now you're in a situation, you're in two parts for the situation. One part, that man or that woman feel like they should still automatically have access to you because you had a child together. And another part of that situation, that man or that woman can use that child to still get access to you. Oops. Did I say that? Apparently so. Yes, I did. So, despite having a child with someone, it does not give them the title dang right to still have access to you. If it ain't about the child, they should not have access to you. If it ain't about the benefit of the child, make sure the child is straight, make sure the child have what they need. That man or woman should no longer have no access to you. They should only have that access to worry about the child, not access to you and everything else of what's going on in your aspect of your life. That's one. Two, because sometimes we still sit here and give people access when that access should be denied the moment it's over with. Only time I need to have access is to worry about co-parenting. That's one, that part of access. Another part of dealing with access is the relationship don't work. You don't got to do this, yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, I know you just broke up. People just break up. It happens. Everybody go through trying to go through that phase of, how I'm going to say this? God help me. Okay. Everybody still going through that phase of withdrawing. Going through that phase of something's there, but at the same time, you're telling yourself you need to move on. Stop trying to go access unnecessary situation. So bam, we constantly still trying to access something that we're no longer allowed to have access to. And that will be often people's problem. When something is over, it's over. We gotta stop trying so hard to try to get access to something that's permanently over with. When people take advantage of us or take us for granted, we need to start allowing people to still allowing them to still have access. Oh, how you doing? I'm fine. I'm good. What you want? And then you give people try to give various reasons to still have access to you. No. Stop granting people who took you for granted, who didn't appreciate you, who wasn't supportive of you. We gotta stop giving these people still access to us. Because when we still sit up there and still give access to them, that means they still in control. Mr. Eric, don't nobody control me. Nobody don't tell me what to do but God. When you constantly continually to allow somebody to access you after you saying it's over, it's done, ain't nothing finna come out of it, we be cool, we can go our separate ways, we don't gotta say nothing to do each other. But for order for you go through a healing process, you have to be willing to cut off all things in all type of situations where anything or any situation that was unappreciated, unsupportive, and mistook you for granted. You got to cut them things off. We all got to cut them things off. All it's going to do is continue to harm us, and it's going to disrupt us. It's going to hinder our growth. It's going to hinder us from having all the successful things that God already has for us, all because we still allowing a previous situation or a previous person still having granted access to us. People are to this day is still continue to give people access when that access should have been denied, when the unappreciative, the unsupportive, the take it for granted people, things, and situations didn't appreciate you. And last thing you don't ever want to do, when you're still trying to deny that access, stop trying to don't allow people to make you feel that, oh, this is the best I can do. When it's not the best that you can do. You can do better. You could gain better. You could be around some people who's going to be supportive. Be around you people that's appreciative and won't take your talents, gifts, and abilities for granted. Because we only allow, but when we around those type of people, everything works out. But when we sit up there and slightly give any circumstances, any person, anything, in any situation, oh, I got access. That hinders you. That hinders your growth. That hinders you moving on with your life, because we still allowing people access. We allowing things and circumstances, situations, access. We still allowing these people to access unwanted areas of our lives. We allow so many people to have so much access to our lives that we don't realize that is a problem. We don't realize that it's a hindrance. And you say, oh, there ain't no hindrance. Oh, there ain't no problem. I can handle it. No, you can't. If you want to move forward, you want to move on, you want to be in a different situation, you want to be with somebody new, you want to be in a new place, you want to be in a whole new healthy situation, why give unhealthy, toxic situations and people granted access to you? God cut off all access to him. The devil cut all his access to him off completely. While we in flesh still giving everybody else and none access but God. Oops. We're giving everybody else access to our lives and to have an input, but we never allow God to have access and have an input in our lives. And we sometimes wonder why our life is kind of in a chaotic situation. We wondering, part of it is like, to some people, they so used to being in toxic, they enjoy being in toxic rather than being in something cleanful and peaceful. So I'm more saying this: why do we choose to stay in toxic situations? Why do we choose to allow toxic people still have access to us when they didn't even appreciate, can't support, and took us for granted? Because it got to a point, every time we say something, we continue to stay and we allow them to still have access to us in some type of shape or form, rather than saying, I need to cut this off. This is too toxic. This is too unhealthy. This is not what I want and what I need, but I still continue to stay. Because now it's to a point, it became a drug. It became an addiction. Allowing this type of man or this woman or this situation to have access to me, man, even though it's not good for my spirit, but it's so lovely to my flesh. Because when you cannot address and is not willing to let go of toxic situations and toxic people, you'll never be able to get more out of life. You'll never be able to get the positive because all you got comfortable for it is the negative. And you always just giving the wrong people access to you, to the point they corrupt you in the process. And by the time they corrupt you enough, they can't get nothing else out of you. They took you for so much granted and unappreciative and unimportant to a point that you can't give to somebody else because you got crap to find and kept ourselves in a toxic situation because we gave toxic people and situations continual access. We continue to entertain people, unnecessary people with access. But that's all I'm trying to get out. And that's all God want to say. God is saying, stop giving people that you say that you're old, people in circumstances and situations, continuous access to you. Stop continuing to giving these situations access and power over you. Well, that was the heart-to-heart talk for today. I pray that it's an encouragement. I pray you were able to really do something and apply it and remember it in order for you to really move on and really have that healthy, prosperous life that you want and desire and want that peace. You have to be willing to let go on toxic people who still continue finding ways to still continue to have access to you. When you say it's over, stop continuing to grant people access to you in some type of shape or form. Just because, oh, you should because you have a child together, so I should. I'm even to a point I had to tell somebody, I had to tell somebody and counsel somebody. I said, just because you had a child or kids with someone should not still entitled and give you the right to still have entitled to that person's body still. The only time you need to talk to that person is the parent, to co-parent. If they say it's over, just co-parent, keep it moving. Keep it moving. It does not say, oh, I had a child with this woman, I had a child with this man, I still have access to their body. Being honest, the only person that ever still have continued access to your body is God. Even though there's a scripture that says, choose ye to say who you serve. Will you say the world? Will you serve God? So who you serve is who you give access to control you. But don't shoot the messenger. I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. I'm keeping it 1K. But ever thought that when you give the wrong people access, you know how much of things you lose along the way, but never notice it until a significant bit loss comes into play? And I'm like, oh no, oh heck no! What happened to this? What happened to that? What happened to this? And what happened to that? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? Because you gave the wrong type of people and circumstances unlimited access to you. Not just you, but the things that you own, the things that you work hard for. All the way to a point you have nothing and you can't offer and you can't give back because you allow people to take so much of you and so much of things that they not even want to pour. They got what they need. Now they don't want to even reciprocate. They go to the next person who they can take and not be able to have to be required to give. One and only Facebook Minister Eric Robinson Jr. That was the heart-to-heart talk. I'm just keeping it 1K with you. I'm keeping it real. Stop giving people access to you and what you have, what you work for. And stop allowing people to have any access to you just because you even have kids with them. The only thing you need to deal with is the co-parents. Start giving them access to you because you have kids. The only thing you need to talk about is the kids. If it ain't about the kids, stop granting the mother of your child, your father of your child access to you. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Have a God bless day. Peace.